Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. Uh, yeah, we are here again. Uh, third week. Today we're going to start Retopology. I want to share some tips I have learned uh, during my career, my artworks, and so on. And yeah, Mr. Krabs is taking shape. Please let me know if the audio is fine, if the background music is fine as well. And yeah, get yourself comfortable, grab a drink or coffee or your dinner. I don't know, whatever you prefer. And let's get started. This is our current step on Skidward. No, Skidward is the other one. This is Mr. Krabs. So I have been doing some sculpting on my spare time. You may notice it's different, a little bit different from what I have started last week, but the process was the same. So I hope I didn't hide any important step from the live streams. But yeah, if you checked my previous live stream, you will see the my process and the idea. One sec. And the idea was the same. So I have been testing some different designs for the face, the mouth. Uh, I have here the collection with different subtools. You see. So yeah, I like to have plenty of options to compare, and this one is the one that I like it the most so far. I also shared some of these options with some friends that helped me trying to decide which ones look better, what to improve. So I really recommend you guys, if you are in doubt about how to proceed in some of your uh, design choices in your artwork, share that with your friends, ask for a second opinion. Feel free to share your stuff on my Discord channel as well. Link is on the description. So yeah, it's always interesting to have like fresh eyes looking into your artwork from other people and fresh eyes from you as well. Like take a rest, close the project for a day and jump back the next day or a few days later, and you will realize how uh, you find things to change easier when you jump to your project with fresh eyes. Okay, I uh, don't think this is my final pass in the sculpting. I will sculpt more stuff probably during after the retopology, and some things from the design might change a little bit, but I'm happy with this result here so far. I have tried something different for the arms that I really liked. So it's a tool from ZBrush that I never tried before, and let me show a little bit how it works because it's kind of fun. Is the instance subtool. So in order to make the instance subtool, I checked an YouTube tutorial, of course, but I have here, for example, why I tried the instance subtool, because I was sculpting like the arms, like the claws here, for example, and then I was doing like details here and whatever, and pushing some shapes, and I realized it that the other side um also needed the same kind of work. I will remove like symmetry for now, but I realized that it wasn't too smart to just work on this side and then go to this side and do almost the same kind of stuff. So I wanted like a symmetry on this axis, but at the same time I wanted to keep the symmetry for the both arms. So what I did, I duplicated my arm, I deleted uh, one of them, and I have placed the arm in the middle of my viewport here. And then after that, I think, so this is the thing, I will need to remember where is the, let me search 1 second. Uh, let's see. I have a video saved here. ZBrush subtool instance. There you go. So this is the tutorial I checked for that. Things are pretty slow here. I hope my live stream is fine. Let me close a few tabs. So there is like an option somewhere to create macro create instance tool. Okay, so let's try with a blank. Yeah, I can use this one, whatever. So I have my geometry here in the middle. I go to macro, open macros, and create instance subtool. And then I have here a way bigger geometry for some reason. And I think now I will move this guy around here, something like this. Let me hide the okay, and then if I go to nano mesh, edit mesh, I have here my instance, and any changes that I do here I will see on my model. So I should just fix the symmetry here, and yeah, you get the idea. If you do it right, you have like symmetry enabled, and then it applies to your character here. So I just made a second duplication for the other arm, and yeah, pretty fun. It helped me a lot during the sculpting. So yeah, if you ever wondered if you could try instance meshes, this is how to use it. Of course, I recommend you to check a few tutorials, because yeah, there is more things to consider. But Alright, so we are going to talk about topology today. So I'm going to show three different ways to do the retopology that I use the most. One in Maya with uh, quad, quad, quad something, uh, modeling toolkit, quad draw. So quad draw. The other method is Blender, just poly modeling. And the last one is ZRemesher. Remesher. One, two, three. So depending on your character, you might find easier to focus in one of these options. Sometimes you can use more than one. There is no right or wrong when doing when deciding which tool to use with retopology. The main thing is keeping in mind like the uh, edge flows and uh, mesh density and so on. So yeah, so for the face we are going to use Maya Quadral. I like it very much. I know Blender has some similar tools that um like they copy the workflow from Quadral, but I didn't try yet, so let's keep it Maya. Then for Blender, a few things for the clothes and zero measure for the arms. I am not finishing all the retopology today. I am just going to show a little bit of the process. And yeah, that's it. So let's get started. I just exported to Maya uh decimated uh uh, I did a decimated a mesh that we are going to use. This is why I like to keep it everything uh symmetric before any like too much detail, because now with the retopology it will be super helpful. So symmetry, it's your friend. uh, what else? We are going to think like I said in the first videos, we are doing like this character considering the animation pipeline. So we want to keep in mind like details that helps different artists to later jump on and do like a rig or animation. I actually have a person that is willing to try some animation on this character. So it will be nice to have like proper topology, some edge flows happening around the mouth. Nothing crazy on this character because we have like split geometry happening. So I will keep the nose as a separated mesh because I want to control when posing to move the nose and like just break the silhouette a little bit. If I keep the nose always like this, we lose like this nice silhouette breakup. So this is why I will keep the nose as a different mesh so I can move freely and stretch like uh, the nose and do like I have more control. Same thing for the bottom and top eyelids. I will keep them separated so I have more control. So I will have this huge mass here where I will focus the most for the retopology. So I will keep in mind the main thing here is like the edge loop around the mouth. I can do a few more here. I will keep like some creases here, like some sharp, some edge loops uh, going this direction, so I can have a better separation here. So we'll use the mesh that I have right now as a base for the retopology. And yeah, let's see. I will need to like to forget the mesh, the original mesh, a little bit um for the mouth area, because I will make on this retopology phase. I will make like the mouth hole. So I will open like a hole in the mesh and extrude inside, and then later we can like have movement and control and everything. So enough with the talking, let's start here. I'm going to make a live surface with the face and quads draw symmetry. I never know if there is like much difference with object or world. Let's keep world, and let's start like with big polygons. Something that I used to do a lot when I was learning topology was like starting with super small polygons, and that makes the process a little bit like harder when you think in the connections and the flow. So this idea that we have in the sculpting phase about thinking first in the main shape, in the main structure, and later going to the polishing, I would consider that. I would suggest to consider that approach for pretty much everything. So same thing for the retopology. I will keep like big polygons here. I will try to follow this shape that I already have around the mouth. Maybe here. I will leave some room here because I will have more. Actually, this will be a bit challenging because I don't have too much space here to work with. So let's just hide the nose and let's add like some kind of edge loop here. Is not, I don't think this is like too much necessary because we are not thinking about stretching this area, but it's kind of cool to have. Yeah, we are going to have some tricky situations here with the symmetry, but let's try our best. Maybe is the object X the best one? Yeah, I don't know. Uh, we already have. Yeah, let's break the symmetry for now. We can fix that later. Way better. Okay. something like this. Guilherme Perez asked, new feature. I think this comment is from a few moments ago when I was showing about the subtool instance, and I am not sure if this is like a new feature, to be honest. Might be, not sure, to be honest. I think something like this works for now. I think we can bring back symmetry. Okay, let's push the edge loops around the mouth. And something that we should always consider is like thinking about on which edge will be like on the corner of your mouth. Like this one will be like the middle point from my lips topology, and then I will start the bottom area and I will keep the same poly number, the same as from the bottom, the same as the top, because this is super helpful for rigging when they work on the crazy controllers and everything. So in order to make their life easier, and also to have like a more appealing topology, because you want the topology to look nice, right? It's so cool when you see characters with a wireframe on and you see the topology. It's so clean and smooth. I think we have something here. Okay, let's push. Oh man. Oh, symmetry. It never works when we need. Okay, whatever. Screw the symmetry for now. Like I said, a little bit of uh, thinking about these sharp markings on the surface and applying the edges right there. It's cool to think about the flow. Oh man, that's so annoying. Why? Let me try to mirror this thing in ZBrush and try again, because it's super annoying. Okay. So let's try. Let me think. Mirror. Yeah, the mirror not changing too much, so I think it's more like a Maya thing. Whatever. Let's keep it. Opa! Obrigadão, Isabela. Feliz de poder mostrar um pouco as coisas aqui no Maya. So I applied some edge flow here around this big round surface of the chin. I think it helps to match the shape. I wouldn't say it's like mandatory, but I think it looks interesting. Let's see. I might change a few ideas around along the process. So yeah, for now I'm happy. Okay, so let's think about this guy here. It will be more tricky because we have some compression happening, but let's try to keep something here that makes sense with the flow. I can push. Uh, I have these spikes around the spine here, which I could mark with some of the topology, but I think I will leave that for the big ones because I am still considering to change the position of the first ones. So if I place like topology information here and then I decide to move them around, it will get like extra polys without any reason. So let's ignore this one, and I think we can always push then them with like displacement. Let's see, time will tell. uh Super annoying symmetry that never works. And we then we can do something like this. let's push these guys. That's so painful. Okay, we're going to push them like to the tip, like this, and add more edges to help with the shape. So this guy will be way smaller. Oops. Well, you get the idea, right? There you go. So we have a better reconstruction of the shape. Is still keeping the middle edge, which is like super important. So let's bring back symmetry, even knowing that it will be annoying. And I will not copy do again all these details, because I just showed the idea behind that. So let's focus on the main stuff. I will not finish this retopology here today. I am going to show how I think when I'm working on that, and I hope this helps you guys, because I don't think it makes sense to spend like 20-30 minutes doing like the same kind of detail over and over. It's just like too painful to watch. I want to show like the idea behind. So yeah, I will work a little bit more here. Save, delete history. Nunca fez retopologia, tem alguma dica? Olha, I will answer this question in Portuguese, and then I will mention in English em algum momento. Isa, referência é o mais importante. Se você pesquisar, tipo, topologia de personagem, você vai ver que muita referência compartilha o mesmo meio que padrão. Manter uns edge loops em volta da boca, em volta dos olhos, em volta de nariz. Existem ali umas características principais na hora de fazer retopologia. Eu gosto de usar o Maya, essa ferramenta aqui, ela é meio chatinha, com simetria às vezes, mas você pode usar Blender ou ZBrush ou qualquer outro software que você tenha mais afinidade. E uma vez que você se acostume com a ferramenta, você tem que colocar em prática os fundamentos, aonde que você vai pôr esses edge loops. Então, referência vai ser importante. Pega o wireframe de personagem, principalmente de animação, que tem uma topologia mais leve, então você vê mais, você vê melhor, né, como que ela é organizada. Mas é tentativa e erro. Eu sempre refaço algumas partes, às vezes eu refaço do zero. Você vai meio que sentindo ali quando que a parada como um todo tá fluindo de uma forma natural. É necessário para animação, para quando for rigar, para quando for animar. Se for apenas para um personagem onde você nem pretende animar ou você não está com foco em estudar essa parte, você não precisa ficar refém desse processo. Você pode renderizar um personagem sem retopologia nem nada. Mas é legal, se você tiver interesse, estudar sobre, porque quando a gente faz personagem para produção, envolvendo modelagem, retopologia é tipo essencial. Faz sentido o que eu falei? Uh, yeah, so I was just saying about giving some tips. There was a question on the chat about tips about doing retopology for the first time, and I would say the main thing it's like searching for references online, images, and checking the main loops like for the mouth or around the lips, around the eyes. For these characters, like super specific, because we don't need like eye edge loops, because the eye is like a different shape. We don't need a nose edge loop, even though I made one just to look like um, more interesting. It's not like mandatory for that. I think the main one, it's like the loop around the mouth here, because the mouth plays such a big role on this design. So I am already thinking about maybe redoing and adding more loops around the mouth. So yeah, let's see. Let's see. It's I was saying that I sometimes I just delete a lot of stuff and I do it again. Sometimes I just delete everything and I start over. So it requires some time to get used with that. I am not a modeler in my my career is not like focused on modeling, so I, as you can see, I am a bit clunky with retopology, but the only way to get better is trying. So yeah, go for it. Opa, boa noite, Dan, MKL. So, what about the mouth? Yeah, this would be a bit tricky. Let's do a copy. And then go crazy with some changes. If we don't like, we have the backup. If we like, even better. So I will try to push more edge loops here. The tricky situation is like this crease on the skin, this line happening here, because it compress some good space that I could use to have more room for the mount. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, let's delete more stuff. Goodbye, goodbye. So for example, let's do some cleanup here. Goodbye. Let's keep it simple, like I said before. Try to work on this first phase with less polygons, bigger ones, so it gets easier to find the flow and the connection. And then later, once we are happy, we just need to subdivide this stuff. Let's ignore the connection for now. Okay, so now we have more. I will not connect these edges here. I will do like the extrude, so I can make the inside of the mount. So I will leave this disconnected. Mas eu retopolo full, mas ainda assim não comparo com a Adron, né, mano? Cara, eu acostumei, então acabo ficando por praticidade. Como que você conseguiu entrar no mercado de animações como modelador de personagens? Então, eu no mercado eu não sou modelador, né? Eu sou look dev, então faço textura, cabelo, material. Mas a forma que eu entrei no mercado foi começando com alguns freelas e depois trabalhando no estúdio de publicidade e alimentando meu portfólio com projeto pessoal, com projeto de freela. E aí eu fui numa conferência de arte em São Paulo em 2019, resumindo muito, né, a história. E na conferência eu apliquei para uma empresa gringa que estava contratando, e aí eles me trouxeram para o Canadá. E aí eu comecei a trabalhar com animação para valer aqui. No Brasil eu trabalhava com animação, mas era em estúdio, então eu fazia um pouco de tudo. Uma vez que você está em empresa maior, os departamentos são mais nichados, então eu entrei para Look Dev, que é o que eu mais gosto de fazer. I was just telling about how I joined the industry as a 3D artist. So yeah, like nothing different from the rest of the guys working here. Like you start with some smaller project, small studios, you focus on your portfolio, you build your kind of your image as an artist, as a professional, and then the work starts to appear like in a natural way. So yeah, I mean, not only natural, you know, like you need to look for the stuff and apply and everything, but once you get like nice portfolio and you keep updated with the tools and stuff, it gets easier to find. The hardest is to start on the first studio, first job or first big studio, and then later it gets easier over time. Se usa mais porque se acostumou, perdem na indústria ou um Blender da vida conseguiria fazer tudo que você faz no Maya? Cara, o Blender tá cada vez mais comum na indústria, mas Maya é muito comum também. Então você tem muito software, né, tipo, para falar que são comuns. O Houdini tá ficando muito comum na indústria também. Então meio que depende da empresa. Tem empresa que foca em Houdini, tem empresa que foca em Maya. Não conheço empresas que tenham o Blender como principal, mas existem. Mas eu aqui tô usando mais só para retopologia. Eu não curto mais não, tá louco. Eu gosto do Blender. Tô aqui porque essa ferramenta aqui eu acostumei, mas a principal parte da parada aqui é Blender. Tá amarrado. E é isso. So I'm thinking about this loop because I usually would push like the loop here more around the mouth. So I have this nice edge loop, but I am not happy with this detail here because once we subdivide and push these details and displacement, if we have like the topology going different flow from the details, we get some a bit of stretching happening when we subdivide, and then we need to subdivide way more to get resolution for a specific area. So I think for this guy I will have like a flow like this following this mass, and then I can connect here like this and just say goodbye to my extra edge loops around the mouth. Okay, so I think this is my limit for the mount edge loops, and yeah, I think that's the best I can do considering the design and everything. So okay, well, I have 1 hour already with this method here. Like I said, a lot of tries and redos and stuff. So I want to show different ways to do the topology, retopology. So let's leave this for now. I will finish the detail on my free time later. One last thing I want to share is how I do the mount. So for example, I will let's consider this is done and I am happy with the result. I will just actually I will close this part here. I think I can use the bridge. Perfect. And then we have a triangle. We are going to close actually the divisions for the bridge. We apply 1 and then the triangle, it's gone. So we can just close this here, and then we have like a quad. And then what I do is I select these guys here. The live surface is gone, so I will extrude that and do something like this, and then I will do it like just a lazy way, so I show the idea behind. So I will push these guys. These guys. I will add a few extra symmetry broken, of course. But you know, yeah, you got idea, right? So I will do some stuff like this. And then I have the mount. Man, this is so ugly. Oof, symmetry. Why? I mean, you guys now get why I am not a big fan of Maya, right? Because the headache starts only when I open Maya. So, yeah. Yeah, this part here is my fault. I will give it that. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, this is the mouth usually. So I will push some more volume here, and then I can bring these two parts together in ZBrush, and yeah, that's it. Nothing special, super messy and weird here, but yeah, trust me, it looks better once it's done. Okay, so second uh second way to do, like a second option, would be using Blender. So for Blender, I like to rely on, for example, goodbye. I like to rely on poly modeling for some stuff. So for example, if I need to create, let's say, uh, the nose, maybe I can just create like let's start with a plane. And for some stuff, I will sculpt them from scratch and just like uh what's the word? Yeah, my mind is super tired. Project. Yeah, I will scoop some stuff and then project. So there you go. I have this. I can just bring more stuff like this, and then I will push like this and have it in a similar position and just project, and it should look interesting. So sometimes it's like faster than just making all the polys from scratch. Something like this. I have the sculpting tools in Blender that saves some time. So let's say I'm happy with this. I can then let's hide everything. I can use shrink wrap, select the original mesh, hide, add more polygons when I need. I can delete this one here and just like duplicate this, apply one, do some extra work. And then I start to see the shapes. So yeah, maybe the nose was like not the smartest choice, but that's the idea. I, for example, for the belt, I can like it's pretty fine. I can use zero measure. I would, for example, for the t-shirt, I could start doing like the modeling from scratch because I know the shirt will be something like this, and then I can push like the details of the shirt, like the color, and then like just reconstruct everything from here. I mean, it's not going to work doing super quick like that, but yeah, some stuff I save for Blender. So same thing. Let's suppose one last example. I could bring like a sphere and delete the bottom half like this and start pushing the shape here, trying to find something similar like this, this is like way uh like there's way more polygons that I should have, but just giving an example. I can use scoop tool and then I have like a new topology here, right? So yeah, sometimes I just do the modeling here and then I export to ZBrush and start sculpting already with the proper topology. And now let's go for the last example, which is pretty fun. Let's use ZBrush. So for example, in ZBrush, I would, let's hide all these extra meshes. Let's use the arms for the example. For the arms, I need to convert PPR to geometry. Okay. And where is my bottom menus? Okay, 1 second. Okay. Okay. Mr. Krabs is back. Let's remove this ugly gradient. Okay. Because the face, the arms are that instance subtool, we need to go to geometry and convert PPR to geometry. Let's delete hidden and let's delete any subdivision we might have. We don't have any subdivision here. Let's merge everyone with a Dynamesh. Let's duplicate first and then Dynamesh. Okay, so I'm going to press Ctrl W. I think, hope that's the correct spelling. Just smooth a little bit this connection, and I will use polygroups for that. So I can let's delete one of them and focus just in one arm. So the polygroups will tell ZBrush where to add the edge loops. So because of that, I would like an edge loop in the middle. I actually will push more of this density, so I have cleaner edge loops. So I will have a group here. I will create these groups like this. Let's hide the line and let's create a few more groups. So I know I will have one edge here, another one. Let's start from the bottom like this. So one here, one here. Oops. Another here. Same for these bigger guys. So I can say, okay, I want like an edge loop here. And yeah, it's removing the like this line that I made here, so let's keep it simple. Okay, here I will have an edge loop here. So I'm telling ZBrush like the direction of these polys. I think let's try something like this here, and let's use like the separation of the spikes here as a landmark. So we'll do it again like this, and then like this. Oh, did I remove the... Okay, correct. So like this, like this, and maybe like this, and one final here. But let me think. Once I group these, it will remove the other groups, correct? So maybe, let me think. Yeah, if I do something like this, it will leave this. Okay. Well, screw this line here. Let's keep it simple. So I will add a few extra groups here. And let's try ZBrush. I'm going to open Geometry tab, ZBrush, and I will check the Keep Groups option, and I will decrease all these. No. Keep Groups, Adapt, Target Poly Count. I decrease for 1000 maybe, and let's run. Let's see what happens. Mesh does not contain polygons on the other symmetrical. What? Does not contain polygons on the major symmetrical side. What is this message? Oh, I was with the symmetry enabled. Never mind. There you go. So this is like how I will probably go with the topology for the arms, and we can polish more and more where we want groups, but this is like some solid result for such a quick workflow. There's some glitching happening here because we have like a star. We can fix these in ZBrush with poly modeling, but I am not familiar with the tools in ZBrush, so we can just export that to Blender, Maya, and fix. And yeah, once we have like a topology that we are happy with, we are going to... I'm not going to open UVs today, but we're going to transfer the details during a projection. So we have the original one here, the new one here, and with a few subdivisions. I like eh, to project each. What is this? Well, ZBrush died. That's cool. Yeah, but anyway, you get the idea. Uh, well, that's all that I wanted to share today. Just a few things regarding retopology. Is not the most fun part of the process, but if you don't put like love on this part, you will regret later because your UVs will rely on the topology, the uh, the amount of like the flow of your mesh will impact the displacement, because if you leave like some areas with such a huge polygons and another areas with super small polygons, this will like make your life so difficult because we need to subdivide way more to have resolution in specific points. So you need to have this balance of similar polygons size for the character. Of course, you should leave like the like huge polygons for places that you are not going to see or add details. But yeah, always keeping in mind where to add like more density and less density and so on. So yeah, I'm wrapping up for today. It's a bit shorter, live stream because it's more technical, but we are jumping back on it next week. I will bring some finished retopology, and then we can talk. I start talking about the clothes. I want to show some cool stuff. Maybe next week we talk about UVs. I am going to use UGym for them. So the organization and everything. I think it would be nice to have like a video just for the UVs. So yeah, uh, hope you guys have enjoyed. I ran into some annoying glitches here and ZBrush crashing and symmetry in Maya super annoying, but I hope I could share some of my knowledge for this part. Okay, so be well, uh, enjoy your Friday, and see you next week. Thank you all.